Hey lovelies, Lisa here. Yeah, hashtag 78 days. They keep on coming. Those days, they keep on coming. And today I am filming a little bit back to backy with the 3 and the 4 of Cups. And I picked a couple of decks that just temperamentally, visually complement each other. Both have the sort of vibrancy and alive energy of the cups. This was the deck I featured in the Three of Cups video, the Circo Tarot of Marisa de la Pena. It's these are the backs. It's just a vibrantly alive deck. Here's the Four of Cups. I love the sort of the pose of the figure in this. It's just like no. The Four of Cups is the first card in this suit that represents this undercurrent of the cups. If we've been talking about the ways in which the cups represent a kind of grace, a kind of abundance, the sort of abundance of the heart overflowing. And the heart overflowing is a heart that from the get-go is not just a heart that beats in one chest. And that sounds a little bit weird, but what I mean is, from the get-go, the cups encourage us to think beyond the confines of the individual self. I was talking about the ways in which the classic Rider-Waite-Smith imagery for each of the aces, where you have a hand holding the suit element. In the traditional Marseille deck, there is no hand holding the cup. From the get-go, the cup is encouraging us in that very first ace moment to think about a kind of fullness that goes beyond just one individual. It's love. It's the abundance of joy. It's these emotions that are, when they exist in our lives, they're bigger than just what we individuals can contain. They're things that we share in a community. Anyway, the Four of Cups is the first card in the suit to show a kind of individualized movement away. It's almost as if the way in which the individual comes forward in the suit is in that rejection of what's been offered, the grace that has been offered. It's like, this reminds me of like little kids, when kids are learning to talk and they learn the word no, and it's such a powerful word. The ability to say no becomes a way for a toddler to assert identity, right? Our identities first get formed by our ability to reject what's been offered to us. We're so helpless as infants and babies and toddlers. The world just keeps coming at us, and we either get nourished or we don't. How do we bring forward our individuality? Or how do we individuate? It's no. And the Four of Cups is the first card in the suit that shows that rejecting effort and the self emerging in that light. And then we get a kind of similar moment of turning away in the 5, we'll talk about tomorrow. Even in the 6 with its nostalgia. And then in the 8 of Cups with its imagery of renunciation, of turning our back on something and walking away, moving away. So this is the Circo Tarot, right, in all of its vibrancy and its brilliant colors. I love that Page of Cups, which just playfully reverses the relationship between the human and the fish. What a wonderful deck. Okay. The deck I wanted to focus on today is the Kahane Tarot, and it's out of print. I got this through a trade. This is actually the German version of the deck. Kahane, and I don't know if she's German, so maybe Kahane is pronounced differently. She's a German illustrator, designer, artist, and has this very bold and graphic style, a little bit left of center, kind of quirky. like the Circo Tarot, there's playfulness in the relationship between the human and the animal world, but this is just a much quirkier deck. And here's the 4. We're going to come back to that in a second. I love the colors of this deck. It's not a deck that I've done anything more than just play with and flip through. I haven't tried to read with it. Not because I don't want to, it hasn't grabbed me yet to do that. But I love having it. I love looking at it. The colors, this floats my boat. Oh, where's the king? Well, I didn't somehow pull the king. Okay. I think that's okay. The 4. So what Kitty Kahane talks about this, she names this this card, like the keyword is zurückhalten, literally holding back, I think, a kind of reluctance. And for her, this, if the I'm dropping everything. If the imagery of the Circo Tarot shows that kind of that active pushing away, this is much more passive. This is a holding back from the world. So opportunities come toward us. The world gives and gives and gives and invites us to remember that we are a part of all of the movement and the energy. And yet this card bespeaks that spirit of reserve, of reluctance, of keeping to ourselves. And one of the things she says Lilo Schwartz in the text for this says, is, you can't open your eyes to the world. You're so stuck in yourself. You bring your shadow with you. You bring the darkness with you. You don't know how to turn toward the light. And I love how, in a suit that's all about water and all about the ocean, and very much, Kitty Kahane shows us that the water is here. In a suit that's all about the ocean and all about water and all about those boundless depths that we talked about in the 2 of Cups when I was talking about the imagery that Juliet in Romeo and Juliet uses to talk about the boundlessness of her love. She's like, my bounty is as boundless as the sea, and as deep. In this deck, we see how the bounty of the spirit of grace, of the heart of love, it's here. But for this central figure, she's turned that watery depths into a desert island, right? She's marooned, and there's no way she's going to take what comes her way. But the discussion in Lilo Schwartz's book, for the little companion book for the Kitty Kahane, what Schwartz says is, the world is going to keep coming at you, whether you take what's being offered or not. Your eyes will get opened to the world no matter what. But it might not be pretty. That when you finally do turn toward what the world is bringing your way, it might be kind of a messy ordeal. So, a clear message here, like, look what's being handed to you. Just take. So, I love the way in which the 4 of Cups in this traditional Smith-Waite imagery recalls the hand that offers the gift. But I just think that the whole point of the cups is that in order for us to take what's being offered, we have to get over this notion that we are separate, individuated selves. We have to let go of our desert island, get up off our ass, and just allow ourselves to plunge into the world. Yeah. I love how her shadow, it's like, it's coming out of her ass. Get your head out of your ass, get up off your ass, let go of your shadow, and partake of this beautiful world. Okay. Yeah, may you find joy today. As always, I'm so grateful to you for joining me, and thank you. Thank you for everything you bring into the world.